Welcome to Random Advice, where I tell you poetry stuff you probably already know. Today, a little tip for how to format your poems on the page. There are 1,000 ways to format a poem, but the one thing all the good ways have in common is they look better than this poem currently does. What I've done here is I've essentially put in a new line every time I've taken a natural pause or taken a natural breath. For example, you get a €1/4 back on every bottle in Germany. It's a poor excuse to get a Pilsner from the Späti for the 30-minute ride to Clash Bar on the subway. Now, this is good if you want to say print it off to read it out at an open mic, something like that, but if I was submitting this to a journal or a competition or something, I'd want to tidy up the formatting before I did that. Now, what I do is I use a ruler, preferably like this, not like this. And what I do, I put it against the end of the lines, for example, for the stanza or for the whole poem. And what I can see, if I put it here, for example, I can immediately see quite clearly where all the negative space is. Again, if I put it at the end of the first stanza, again, I can see that. Now, what I see immediately here is that this line and this line are much longer than the lines around them. This line is shorter than the lines around it. So let's see what we can do here. Move the ruler. Let's see what I can do. Put a couple of words up here to get a Pilsner from the Späti. That looks neater. What if I put in one extra word? No, I prefer it the other way. But again, that looks neater. Move the ruler. We can see the effect on the negative space. In this stanza, it's now very minimal. Again here, sometimes these can be a bit more complicated, particularly when you've got one big word at the end of a line that you're trying to fit in. So another thing you can do is you can put the whole stanza as one paragraph, essentially, and then you can kind of cut it up into even chunks. So for example, let's try something like that. That looks a bit neater. You can see, though, again, move the ruler, you can see the effect that has on the negative space. And one final example here. Try something like that. Again, that looks much nicer. Again, move the ruler, negative space is almost gone from that stanza. Now, if I was to submit this, I would want to continue playing around with it, but just a few simple changes can make a poem look a lot neater. And it's kind of fun to play around with it as well. You get to read it in different ways when it's formatted differently. You get to play around with it. You'll see words you want to change. It's good fun. So if you already knew that, apologies for wasting your time. If you didn't, hope it helps. Cheers.